While Grand Final glory is the ultimate goal for each of the 18 AFL clubs, the fact is that only one team can win the flag each year. A lack of silverware, however, doesn't necessarily mean the season was a failure. In footy, teams are harder pressed to find a tougher critic than their own fans, so we turn to the AFL creators community and a couple of close friends who help out behind the scenes to find out what makes 2021 successful for each team. There truly is an awesome community growing for footy content, and we highly recommend checking out the description for links to everyone's channel or podcast.
Port Adelaide, a team that came agonisingly close to making a grand final in 2020, are now set up perfectly for another shot at a top 4 position in 2021. With the youngsters of Rosie, Dersma and Butters mixed with the Rockcliffe, Boak, Wines, Dixon, Robbie Gray. This is an opportunity now for Port Adelaide to go after their ultimate goal, which is 3 premierships in 5 years. And that can start with a premiership in 2021. With Kenny at the helm, this is a big opportunity and definitely one they'll be striving for.
Brisbane. After failing to capitalise on a Queensland final series, the Lions will feel like 2020 was a missed opportunity to claim the club's first flag since the three-peat. Still, the young Lions team did manage to win their first final under Chris Fagan, and have only gotten stronger with the inclusion of Joe Danaher. In 2021, they'll be looking to continue their upwards trajectory and make the grand final this year.
Richmond. After claiming 3 flags in 4 years and 2 on the trot, this Richmond outfit are presented with a chance to become one of the league's greatest ever teams, and close any debate as to whether they live up to the lofty standards of dynasties gone by. While their young stars will only get better, the core is beginning to age, and success for the Tigers lies in making the most of their opportunity and adding another piece of silverware in 2021.
Hello everyone, Craig Wessels from a Yank On The Footy podcast here. Thanks to Andreas and Zach for inviting me on to talk about my beloved Geelong Cats. Where do I see them being successful this year? Well, if they don't play in the grand final, I think it's a failure of a season. They've pushed all of their chips on the table and said, we want to be back there playing in the grand final. They've added some big pieces. They've lost a couple big pieces with Gary Ablett Jr. and with Harry Taylor. They've gotten a year older, but they're still a very experienced club, and I think they're going to manage their players more than anybody might realize. Thanks a bunch. I hope everybody has a fantastic season. Hopefully everybody stays healthy.
West Coast. Since the 2018 Premiership win, the Eagles haven't qualified for the top 4, nor have they made it past week 2 of the finals. Having traded heavily to recruit Tim Kelly in that time, as well as talking star players Josh Kennedy and Shannon Hearn out of retirement for 1 more year, it is clear the Eagles are fully in Premiership mode. As such, anything other than reaching a preliminary final in 2021 would be considered an abject failure.
Now for the Saints, I reckon we have a pretty well balanced list. Our defence, midfield and forward line I reckon is quite stacked, and I reckon we will go quite far in 2021. I don't think we are going to be contending for the flag, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints do make a top 4 finish. We definitely have the talent, and inclusions of even more talent over the trade period such as Crouch and Higgins will definitely be a great benefit for the Saints, and I do see us going quite well in season 2021.
The Western Bulldogs. Adding the likes of Josh Bruce and Alex Keith last year provided a lot of potential that many fans will say wasn't lived up to. Bring in Adam Treloar, Steph Martin and first pick Jamara Ugle-Hagan this year, the expectations are arguably higher. With the 2016 Premiership firmly in the rearview mirror, a top 6 finish is a must in order to capitalise on rich recruiting and a September ready list. The Dogs' hardest questions will be regarding who makes up their midfield. With a plethora of names to choose from and limited spots, selecting the right combination of players to gel and deliver the footy into the front half will have the biggest impact on the side's 2021 win column.
Collingwood. After an up and down season in 2020, the Pies will need to look to work on their disposal efficiency inside forward 50 if they want to have a chance at winning Premiership number 16. In 2020, the Pies ranked 17th in disposal efficiency inside forward 50. If they can fix that up, they could be in the chance to win Premiership number 16.
Melbourne. This team has a lot of question marks going into season 2021. They're going to have to do it with a makeshift forward line. Sammy Wiedemann is out. Ben Brown is out, so they're going to have to rely on a revived Tom MacDonald, who looks as fit as he's ever been, and an up-and-coming forward in Luke Jackson. Are they going to be able to kick enough goals is probably the question. The midfield is primed and ready to go. Clayton Oliver is looking as fit as he's ever been, and Christian Petrarca is coming off a career best year. You can begin to understand why these fans are finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. A pass mark for Melbourne this year is a top 8 finish. It's not even a pass mark, it is the bare minimum. There's no more excuses, the list is mature enough. It all comes down to this season for Simon Goodwin and his boys.
The GWS Giants. After an awful campaign last year, the Giants will be desperate to prove that they are still the team that made the 2019 Grand Final, and there are 3 keys to achieving this. The first of these is the one that everyone is talking about, filling the void left by Jeremy Cameron, and that is going to take a collective effort. It's going to take Harry Himmelberg, Jake Riccardi, Jeremy Finlayson, Jesse Hogan, even Brent Daniels, all taking their games to another level. The next is generating more drive out of defence, and with Heath Shaw retiring, Lockie Ash's development is going to be crucial to achieving this. And finally, Stephen Cornelio, Josh Kelly and an injury-free Tim Taranto need to re-establish themselves as the AFL's orange Ferrari, that tsunami that will drive this team back into the top 8.
Carlton. Season 2021 is all about consolidating this rebuild. We are now in year 6 of the 5-year rebuild, and one of the keys for having a successful season in 2021 is stopping the 5-goal swings that we give up to teams. So really it's all about learning how to deal with adversity, and our leaders are going to be crucial in this aspect.
Hello you plonkers, my name is Druzy, and the boys at Footy A2Z have asked me to talk about my team, the mighty Fremantle Dockers. Fremantle are often overlooked as they've just been through a long rebuild. After finishing first in 2015, they've gone for a 16th place finish in 2016, followed by 2 14th place finishes in 2017 and 18. In 2019 they finished 13th, and in 2020 they finished 12th. So as you can see, it's been a slow burn process for the Dockers in this rebuild. But the promising thing is, we're slowly on the up. Draft investment has paid off, with players like Brayshaw, Chera, Sarong and Hayden Young all having seemed to pay off. At the opposite end of the spectrum, our older players are also stepping up. Freo were very underlooked in my biased opinion, but with a healthy list, Freo could definitely push the top 8 this year. However, a top 10 finish is more likely.
What makes Essendon successful in 2021? A consistent game plan that works on field, not just overhandballing, and also switching the play, not just kicking down the line. Because you see in 2020 how the Bombers just got it inside 50 and just kicked it down the line. And also when we played out on the wings, we just kicked it down the line and always got intercepted. And also avoiding last quarter fade out.
Gold Coast. The Suns surprised the AFL world last year with a quick surge up the ladder to begin the season. They would finish the year with a record of 5 wins, 11 losses and 1 draw to slump to 14th. While it was a drastic improvement on 2019, the Suns will feel like they ended up underachieving, so with a fit Matt Rowell at their disposal, increasing that wins tally to around 8 should show their young players have gained some more consistency and maturity.
Hawthorn. After many picked Hawthorn for a return to the upper end of the ladder last year, they achieved the opposite, recording the club's first bottom 4 finish since the league's 18-club expansion. With most of their dynasty team moved on, it's hard to tell whether or not they're beginning a rebuild. To be successful this season, they need to prove they're competing for a final spot and arrive at a clearer idea of their best 22.
Sydney. After a couple of seasons at the top end of the ladder, Sydney will feel they're ready to return to finals contention once again. Players like Florent, Mills and Rowbottom have seasons under their belts, and Jake Lloyd has cemented his place as one of the league's best. However, as the teams around them continue to improve as well, climbing the ladder may prove a daunting task. So 9 wins this season would see them break away from the bottom 4.
North Melbourne. After a disastrous 2020 and the movement of several key players, North Melbourne have been upfront about entering a rebuilding phase. Yet with new coach David Noble targeting a top 4 finish within 3 years, the pressure will be on to show signs of improvement immediately. Wins will likely be hard to come by, so success at Arden Street will lie in seeing the coach develop a consistent game style and get games into their exciting young players, with the aim of arriving at a best 22.
Adelaide. Most pundits in the media would say that the Adelaide Crows are probably heading for their second wooden spoon, and it's not unfair to think that. With an average age of 20 years and 4 months, the expectations are pretty low on a very young, very inexperienced and undersized Adelaide Crows list. From Crows fans, the expectations are even more simple. Just don't finish bottom again and show some improvement amongst the young kids. With a stellar coaching panel this year and some really good new recruits through the draft, it looks like the Crows fans should get their wish.
What do you want to see your team achieve this year? Let us know in the comments below. And thanks once again to all the fantastic creators who helped out on this video. All their links are in the description if you want to go check out their channels for more great AFL content.